Notable chef and restaurateur Nico Romo has opened his fourth restaurant here in the Lowcountry, this time a French bistro in downtown Summerville. He talks to me one-on-one about the Kersey House in Summerville for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Nico Romo, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Well, thanks for having me.
You're welcome, and thank you for sponsoring the TEDx Charleston interview on behalf of your restaurant group.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Glad I could help.
I appreciate it greatly. And I say that because obviously you're the founding owner of Nico Romo Hospitality Group, comprised of many notable restaurants here in the Lowcountry. Nico's Oysters Seafood in Mount Pleasant, Bistro Nominee by Nico here in downtown Charleston, Laura in Summerville, and now Kersey House, which is a new French bistro and event venue by French master chef, of course, Nico Romo yourself. It just opened this year, and this restaurant actually is a celebration of French bistro classics and a fully renovated historic house in downtown Summerville.
Yeah.
Why Kersey House? Why now?
Well, Kersey House is kind of like when we basically kind of came around when we opened Laura. The property was right down the street. Beautiful historical property. You know, I worked for Patrick Property downtown for many years, and when I saw this old historical property, just kind of remember me the old days when we be able to put out a bunch of weddings and super fun events in the historical property. And I think it's usually a great location where you can, you know, people want to celebrate life and have fun things happening in it. So, you know, it just makes sense. So we got the property, and then took a couple years to renovate, to put it into a beautiful shape, and then now we're excited. You know, we're fully open 7 days a week. You know, Monday to Sunday, doing brunch, lunch, and then we start booking small weddings and bigger weddings. So we're still on process of growing that story. You know, but it's got a beautiful out back patio with that you can tent or put a roof on, with a built-in bar, and it's really beautiful, and it just kind of brings something new to the Summerville community, you know. So we're really excited to be able to do that.
And so now that you have opened, Nico, what has the reaction been like?
I mean, since it's been open, it's been great. Lots of local. We got a really fun lunch. We're doing a lunch with a prefix menu for lunch for $20. It's really inexpensive. There's that 3 little snack, you know, 3 small portion entrees, and people are loving it. You know, we have a great following right now, and we keep building that lunch, and it's been fun.
And speaking of which, what are those French bistro classics right now?
Well, right now we do. I mean, we obviously have escargots. You know, we have a lot of some ceviches. We've got pâté en croûte, so the classic pâté with cornichons. Our cocktail list is some fun little mixed drinks too. It's like French style. You know, we got beautiful desserts, and we're doing a little fresh pie, fresh fruits, you know, pastry cream. So it's a good, you know, it's a good feel. It's like a fun little French dishes, simple and classic. Duck confit, you know, we pretty much take all the standard French dishes out there, you know.
Oh yeah. So which one of those French bistro classics, Nico, actually matches Summerville's character?
I mean, I would say it's not based on the character of Summerville. You know, it's more it's us bringing to Summerville a French classic food, you know, that I don't think is in a French restaurant in Summerville downtown. So it's really bringing them exactly, you know, the feel of if you were going to France into a French cafe or brasserie, you have the same feel, the same quality of food.
And I know that obviously you all are committed to providing guests with an authentic culinary experience that balances tradition with fresh and seasonal ingredients. So let me ask you first, what is the state of the culinary experience as you know it?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. We got a great experience. The chef is French, Remy. So he worked with me in many years before, actually, at the wedding venue in downtown. So we got a good relationship, and you know, he's giving us the opportunity to make sure things are done in a certain order, certain way, and you know, to my standards for sure.
And so what local ingredients are you all using there?
So local ingredients, we use obviously local grits, we use local rice, we use ourselves some oysters, we do some boiled roasted oysters too. So we try to mix up everything we can that are local ingredient into the dishes. Lots of produce.
Oh, for sure. That's really, really amazing. You talk about those food items, Nico. So which one of those food items on the menu at Kersey House resembles you?
It's hard to say. There's nothing that was on with just me, you know. But I think it's more the French culture. That's what it represents, you know. That's always what we try to do. It's not about me. It's about French culture, and then the chef that are at each restaurant, basically representing maybe the standards and the quality of the product that I want to make sure they use.
Wow. Where do you see that French culture, Nico, in the next 5 to 10 years?
I don't know. I think the French culture will always be part of the food industry, no matter what you do. It's the basics of any cooking, really. So it's always going to be there. Now it's going to be a more front of French or Italian food or Chinese food, or I don't know. But I think every food has its room, and every restaurant has to use French techniques, French cooking. It's always going to be part of it. What
technique do you want to use next when you think of French culture and French cuisine?
I don't know about a specific techniques. Like every restaurant has we do a lot of sous vide. We've always been a restaurant with practicing sous vide, so this will all be part of our culinary experience for sure. But do we have a specific technique now? I think it's just more like finding new ingredient, new local ingredient, new local product that we think would be interesting for us to incorporate into our dining experience.
I hate to be redundant, but where do you see that dining experience, particularly here in the Lowcountry, in the next couple of years?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I think it's going to continue to be more and more entertaining. I think customers don't want to. They want more. Maybe smaller portion in some ways. Not always big portion food, but a little more entertaining, a little more curious. The culinary palette for people are many now with the internet and stuff like that. People have seen things that they may have never seen before. So I think the people are more curious and more exciting, and again, I think it's entertaining. People want to have a dining experience where they come in, they just not just sit down and have dinner. They want to have fun with their managers, want to have fun with their chef. They want to have a fun experience. So.
And that's where Kersey House comes in.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. When it comes to curiosity, Nico, what do you want to experience next when it comes to cuisine?
When it comes to cuisine, I don't know. It's hard to say. I would say that for me, the experience is really just create a special moment. So anyone comes to our restaurants and they leave and they had a really great experience and they remember that meal. They remember their people that serve them and cook for them. I think that's the number one important thing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, Nico Romo with the Nico Romo Hospitality Group. Thank you so much for your time again. Welcome back to Quintin's Close House.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thank you. Yes, sir.